inshallah, and we're going to start a new topic as we're following the main course that we are having, alhamdulillah, how to build a God-centered lifestyle. Remember, since last session, we started talking about factors associated with dissatisfaction in life. What are the things that make us have trouble and issue in our life, in our family, in our interactions with others, in general. We talked last week the week before, we talked about stubbornness. And we mentioned how important it is to get rid of that. And tonight, inshallah, as you got through the email, we're talking about laziness. Very epidemic, unfortunately, very big problem. I've seen many people, many of clients, many people talk to them. One of the biggest aspects that doesn't let them be successful in life is laziness. I don't know if you would have someone stand up tonight and says, I am not lazy at all in my life. Or someone would say, I'm lazy, or someone says, I have a little bit of laziness in my life as well. Most of the people stay with the second category, third category. I'm not a lazy person, but I have some sort of laziness sometimes in my life. Therefore, many of the relationships that we have fall into problems and issues because of this topic, the topic of laziness. You might be surprised that in Islam we have a lot of recommendations, a lot of ayat of Quran and traditions talking about this specific issue, which is laziness. So far you realize every single aspect of your life throughout this course that we're following, every single aspect of your life that you're supposed to know, learn to be successful or to get rid of them, we had specific recommendations from Islam, ayat of Quran and traditions. As a psychologist, I'm telling you, so far we could not find any aspects of a human life from this spiritual and this social and this psychological aspects that we didn't have topic in Islam about this. And that makes sense because Allah who created us, of course, He's going to guide us from all the details of our life, right? Imagine a computer, engineer or someone who invented something, a device. Will talk about as much as they can, all the details. If this part of the, for example, computer has problem, if the Windows has problem, if that part has problem, you have to do what? Although they cannot, they cannot put all together a comprehensive manual. That's why they update it, right? That's why they found a lot of bug and issue and problems. They have to, bring the new version of their issue, their product that they actually gave to people. Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He's perfect, there's no issue, there's no problem. He doesn't need to update Himself. He gave it all at the same time. So let's follow the topic of laziness that we're following. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Surah Al-Najm, ayah 39. وَأَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. Very interesting. And that a man shall not deserve anything unless the reward of what they actually, or he put effort. You can get what you work for. You can get as much as you work. Even in dunyavi perspective. You cannot sit in the masjid, just pray and have tasbih and say zikr and want to be a good businessman or to be a good, doctor or professor. It is impossible. Allah would help whoever, no matter if they are religious or not religious, atheist or not. There are certain rules in this dunya. If you follow those rules, you'll be successful in this dunya. Why the majority of non-Muslim countries are more successful in terms of their financial, their technology and everything? Because they're working on that. Because some other people, maybe they're sitting in their house, they just want someone to bring tea and chai for them, right? But some other people, they stay in their labs until 10 p.m. and try to work and figure out new things. So don't expect Allah to say, brother, mashallah, because you just came from Hajj, so I'm going to give you the tawfiq to solve the cancer. Or you're going to, it's not going to work. You work, you see the result. وَأَنْ لَيْسَ, this is the principle. وَأَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. Whatever you work for, how much you put effort, will get the result from this. That means from dunyavi perspective, and also ukhravi perspective as well. You can't, it's impossible that you be a good person in this dunya, you follow the rules, and God forbid Allah would what? Unjustly put you in hell or something that you don't deserve. Never happened. That's why He keeps saying that I am a just God, right? Everything. On the other side, someone who did whatever he wanted or she wanted in this dunya, they can't expect at the day of judgment. Just, have you seen some people? Do whatever you want. Just if you love Amir al-Mu'minin, you go to heaven. So he doesn't pray. He betrays others. He doesn't fast. He steals money from others. He's totally against the lifestyle of Amir al-Mu'minin. Just say, I like Amir al-Mu'minin, I'm going to go to heaven. Or some people get to the point, they don't pray anymore. I don't want to mention the name, because they get to that spiritual mood. So very important that they're beyond praying. Amir al-Mu'minin, he actually became Seyed in Mihrab while he was praying. No matter how much you say Ali and Ali and Ali, you have to follow him in action, right? That's what is important. Let me ask you this, since we're having interactive discussion. What is your definition? You know, it's informal, we're going to talk about it. What is your definition of laziness? Bismillah. All right. The quality of being unwilling to work or use your energy to do something. Idleness. Or you don't want to do something. You don't want to spend energy. You don't want to follow certain things in your life. This is actually, it's not a mental, issue or disease. This is a habit some people would have, that it may reflect because of lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem. They don't recognize the importance of certain, responsibilities in their life, that they have to put efforts, and many other causes that we will talk about this in other slides that we have, inshallah. So it's like someone purposely, out of habits, they do not want to spend time, energy, do something, and just want to be idle, right? That's what is the definition. Do you know anyone who's lazy? Raise your hand. How many of you guys you know? Please. I'm not going to ask who, so feel comfortable. Raise your hand. How many of you guys, you know someone who is lazy? Almost all of you guys, right? So you don't know anyone who's lazy in your life? Yourself. Raise your hand, so you know someone. Good. Almost all of us, I know many of you guys, you raise your hand, you might be among those that you know, right? That's fine. I have to understand that I am lazy or not. The first thing is to admit to it, that I have this issue or not. If you keep ignoring it, you're not going to make it better. You have to understand if you have it or not. So inshallah we'll follow in details. So those who say that they know someone who is lazy or themselves, tell me some of the characteristics of those lazy people. Let's go. Usually they procrastinate. Always, you know what, I'm going to do it. Students, how many of you guys, when you have an essay or something, you say, I'm going to do it, and you do it at the, actually the night of exam. So, I do it all the time, And you need that as stress as motivation to study. By the way, it's sometimes good. They usually delay doing their tasks, right? They always delay that. Sleep a lot. They tend to sleep more rather than waste time a lot. Different ways. Watching a movie, playing with something, I don't know, doing something else that is not important. They waste time a lot. They're lazy people. When you talk to them, because of wasting a lot of time, they don't have that much wisdom in them. You see that, You understand that part of it. And most importantly, they don't have any goals in their lives. But they're not pursuing their goals in life. They're confused. They're lost in their lives, right? If you are lazy, or you know someone who's lazy, maybe because they lost their goals in life. Once I don't have a goal, once I don't know where I'm going in the middle of the highway, I stop there, right? We have different types of laziness. Now we're breaking down. Laziness in spirituality and laziness in our daily life, okay? In spirituality, hadith from Imam Baghr alayhi salatu wasalam. Look at our scholars, look at our imams, look at our Ahl al-Bayt, look at Quran, look at ayat of Quran. In details of our lives are talking. Find any other religion or school of thought. Go to these details. Go break it down. We'll follow that from tomorrow or from tonight. We don't have. Laziness. Al-kasalu yudhirru bid-din wad-dunya. Laziness would hurt your spirituality, your deen, and also your dunya as well. And look, they're talking about both of them. They don't say just stay in the masjid, just pray or something. No, both of them it's going to hurt, both of them. In a spirituality, look at ayah Quran, Surah Nisa, ayah 142. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It's very scary. إن المنافقين يخادعون الله وهو خادعهم وإذا قاموا إلى الصلاة قاموا كسالى. Surely the hypocrites deceive, they try to deceive Allah while He is the one who actually leaves them in their deception. And when they stand for salah, they stand up lazily. When it comes to akhirah things, no, I don't have energy, inshallah, oh, I still have 2 hours to become qaza, 5 minutes before they think it's the essay. 5 minutes before they want to do their job, right? They stand lazily only to show people and do not remember Allah but a little. What does this ayah tell you? Laziness is a characteristic of who? Of who? Hypocrites. When it comes to spirituality here. In front of others, if she's gonna pray in the masjid, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah. Everybody's next to him, mashallah. He's connected to Allah with fastest speed. Internet, right? But in the house, I have some video clip on social media, some people post it. Wallahi, you cannot, like when it comes to Subhanallah, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim wa bihamdih, that person is actually making fun of them. It's a hidden camera or something, I don't know who did it. They should not do it, but they do it, So, it's not even time to say soup. Like literally, that person makes fun of him and says soup. Stand up. There's not enough time. When it comes to ibadah, they're getting lazy. It's characteristics of hypocrite. It would affect worship laziness, right? They don't enjoy the ibadah. Hadiths. Shaitan told one of the prophets, do you know the worst thing that I can do to a servant, what it is? What do you think it should be? The worst thing that I do to someone. I don't let them enjoy their ibadah. I take the enjoyment away from them. Because when you take that enjoyment away, it becomes boring and following with that. We're going to talk about this. Imam alayhi salatu wa salam, al-kasalu yufsidu al-akhirah. Laziness corrupts your akhirah. I want one of you guys to raise your hand. I'm waiting for that question. But say it, all of us, we have ups and downs in the spirituality. Sometimes we're very good when it comes to Ramadan and Muharram, but sometimes you're lazy a little bit, right? How about that? We're going to talk about this. Basically, when you don't have a correct worship, you are destroying your akhirah technically. It is different than sometimes we don't have enough motivation to pray and we feel lazy. This is about characteristics of a lazy person. If you get lazy in ibadah and you stay there for a long time, that's what is about this topic. If you get into that lazy part and you don't pray, na'udhu billah, God forbid, someone prevent themselves from worshiping, doing something, that is what is the issue. But sometimes I feel down, but I start doing it and I stand up again. I get back the motivation. That period of time, which we'll talk about how to motivate ourselves more, is not that part. And they might not be lazy about their worldly affairs and tasks. Only these people, when it comes to, if you tell them to go outside 5 o'clock, there's an airplane, they have a trip to New York. It's at 3 a.m. If it's 4 a.m., 2 hours before, because I'm going to miss my flight, If they told you that, tell them, $100 you're going to give them, you have to come in this time, absolutely. Only when it comes to akhirah. Look what Quran is saying. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Surah Tawbah, ayah 38. I'm going to go with the English part translation. O you who have believed, what is the matter with you? Very interesting. What is the matter with you? Malakum, when it is said to you, come out in the way of Allah, you turn heavy and cling to the ground. It's like you can't move. It's like the time of salah, you hear adhan. Oh, you know what? so tired. Like the whole world is pulling you down. Don't stand up. You're so tired. It happens to some people. Are you satisfied with the life of this world rather than hereafter? This is not about us. Sometimes we feel that temporarily. It's talking about those munafiqun, those mushrikun. Not mushrik, munafiqun that mushrik don't pray. Munafiqun that in front of others they act, but in front of Allah they're different. This is the stable, kind of habit that they have. Not us. Sometimes we feel it. And of course it says, remember that the enjoyment of this world compared to akhirah is very little, right? Now let's getting more practical. How to change laziness in worship? Help me with that. How can we change it? What did you do so far when you're in that down part of your worship? What did you do, or what should you do to stand up again and to motivate yourself, get rid of your laziness? What should we do? This is informal. Don't feel shy. So just talk about it. It's very important. You don't want to make shaitan happy. So you say, istighfar, a'udhu billah minash rajim. As soon as you say that works, like as soon as you say astaghfirullah, you stand up. MashaAllah, that's good. Same thing. Zikr of Allah, istighfar and everything. Very important. What else? Remember akhirah. What part of akhirah? The day of judgment. That you have to stand in front of Allah. Okay. What else? Set your spiritual goals. Very important. Very good. Very good. Very good. What else? Okay. Make sure you have small steps in front. Very good. For example, if I was reciting Quran, 5 pages of Quran in Ramadan, and after Ramadan I don't feel that much motivated, not five pages, for example, 3 pages, not 3 pages, 1 page, not 1 page, half a page. Don't live it, right? Very good. What else? Ahsan. Think about Imam of the time. What do you mean by that? Very good. Ahsan. Ahsan. Recite salawat for him. If a soldier being lazy, not doing the job, they think about the commander, and they know the commander is watching them, they stand up, do the job. Once we know that Imam al-Fasi is witnessing our amal, and on top of him more, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself, but he's the high Imam, he's seeing us, and motivates us. Number 1, strengthening your iman. Finding those mistakes and those problems you have in your iman. Remember, it might be husn khulq, it might be your temper, it might be something else. Want to improve your iman in general. Looking for aqa'id, the beliefs that you have. Try to strengthen that. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is something that Allah should help you to get rid of that. We have tradition, we have dua. At the end of inshallah this slides we'll talk about. The dua that Ahlul Bayt says, Ya Allah, you help me to get away from laziness and idleness. Having the correct intention. Who am I going to do it for? How am I going to pray for? For the Creator, when I want to talk to Him, He's always there for me and listen to me. And now that I want to pray a little bit, 5 minutes, 10 minutes during the day, I'm so lazy to do that. So when you have issue, when you know there's sickness and problem and financial issue, Ya Allah, and you don't get tired. And He doesn't get tired as well. Now that you have to appreciate Him sometimes, now you, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you are cognizant about the problem, cognitively think about it, you realize the importance of that. Practice makes perfect. Let me tell you what, no matter how difficult it is, my younger friends, do not cut that line. No matter what, always say it. Always do it. Even with the poorest quality, don't leave. Shaitan is looking for that leaving. Shaitan is waiting for that just disconnection. Even if it's low speed, do it. It will help you to what? To get it stronger and stronger. Focus on what you're doing. What is the sometimes we lose that motivation because it gets habit. Just pray. What am I doing? What am I supposed to do? when it says 1 hour thinking about Allah is more important than 70 years ibadah, that means you get motivation, right? Meditation. Before ibadah, after salat, for example, make sure you get power to control your thoughts. 1 hour after salat, before salat, sit down and try to get. All my clients so far I've seen, youth or others, they have some challenges in the life, OCD, depression, anxiety, PTSD, anything else, is the moment that they lost control over their mind. That means the mind is ordering them to think negatively. When they tell their mind, don't think negatively, mind says, stop it, I'm going to do whatever I want. But mu'min is the one who has control over what? The brain. Don't think about haram. Give up. I will not. All the way to the level of Ahlul Bayt, they do not think about haram as well. That's the highest level, imagine. They don't even think about haram. In practice, someone asked Imam, how is it possible that you can't control your thought? You don't even think about haram. How is it possible? Imam says, so, practically, imagine you're walking the street and you say some feces on the corner of the street. Would you think, pardon me, would you think about eating that? Of course, I don't even think about this. Why? Because you know the ugliness of that thing's over there. Haram to us, it's so ugly. As ugly is worse than that. That's what we don't even think about. But look at how amazing Ma'soom answers, right? You just want to be so happy. Shout to the whole world that I am following these people. I'm following this school of life. I'm following Islam, right? And remind yourself about Allah's satisfaction and His rewards. About akhirah. About what is waiting for you, right? Laziness in life. Laziness in life. Hadith from Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wa salam. Very interesting. إني لأبغض الرجل أن يكون كسلانا أمر الدنيا. I don't like a man who is lazy in his worldly affairs. Man or woman, doesn't matter. It says me, right? He's lazy in his worldly affairs. And the one who is lazy in his worldly affairs is lazier in the affairs of the other one. When you do not stand up in the morning to go to work and you're lazy, you want your wife to do all the job. I have some cases. Imam is saying, this person is lazier when coming up to make the prayer. Then that's clear what you have to do. Right? You don't say that my grandfather, he was just sitting and my grandmother was bringing tea after another one and food. And he was hot and she was, I think. What kind of issue that causes if someone is lazy in life, right? We have to recognize the problem of that. Number one, it will damage their job, their income sometimes. Someone is lazy. I have some cases I've seen with my eyes, right? Here in this country. The guy was sitting in front of the TV. Out of 24 hours, at least 18 hours, unless he was asleep or something, he was in front of the TV. And he got used to this because the wife was working and then bringing money, so why not? By the way, my back is hurting as well. Not excuse. It will hurt the relationship with others. Anyone in the world. If at work you're lazy, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but the third day, for the office, we can't take you. With your family, with others, with your, any other relationships, laziness can hurt. If I'm not doing my job, if I was supposed to wash my dishes and I'm not, if the house is dirty and the husband comes to me and complains, the house is always messy, and the excuse is that she's working outside and she's... If I'm not doing my primary things that I'm supposed, as a man or woman, doesn't matter. If I'm supposed, like the same way that I said men should help as well, but if I'm not taking care of my household first, and I'm taking care of someone else's job outside, if I'm not training my children first, and I'm doing the job of someone else outside, which one is the priority? My children, my generation, or my office hours? Yes, the bills and all the things, I'm aware of that. But when the children are growing up, they don't go back. When you miss that 7 years, then 14 years, then 21 years of life, when you miss and I understand with all the things, I'm just giving the facts. When you miss attachment with your child, specifically the first 3 years of life, which is attachment so important and critical, you can't take it back. So you can bring all the excuses that we believe, but when that physical attachment is not there, you miss that. It's like I touched the heater, the fire, not purposely. I mean, yes, there's no, you didn't realize that there's no sin for you, but your hand is already burned. You can't take that back, right? That's what we have to think about this. It will incline towards depression and mental issue. You know, that's someone who stays in the house all the time. Even sisters, even if you don't work, get out of house. Go out, have time with your friends, go shopping for yourself. No, not too much to hurt the bank account, Have time, read book, go out, have fun, spend time with friends. Even older ones, please. Don't say, you know what, it's for young people. No. Allah created you this way. You need motivation. I have a friend, he's 99 years old. I think he's already 100. In this area, still drive. He still drives. He got a ticket, he went to the court. The judge says, you're still driving? Dismissed. One day he was actually putting gas in his car, he forgot and he ran with the whole thing. All the way, But it's still, look how young he feels that he does this. It'll harm your physical health. It will cause regret. Hadith from Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. من أطاع التواني, tawani means laziness. أحاطت به الندامة. When you're lazy, you will have regret in your life one day. I wish I was working more when I was young. Now I lost that. I wish I could get that degree. I wish I was not lazy to get that house. Right? I wish I had someone to bring a little bit of water. That would be great. Violating others' rights. Hadith is saying, من أطاع التواني ضيع الحقوق. The last statement I gave, I actually meant, I don't water. So how you put it, no one realizes, right? Thank you. من أطاع التواني ضيع الحقوق. Look at Amir and what he's saying. The one who is lazy violates the rights of others. Either at work, I am the faculty, I was supposed to teach this much, I'm violating the rights of my students. I am a speaker, I don't spend enough time to prepare. I just get on there something, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, let's be good and nice, put something together with another hadith, Ya Allah. This is stealing time from people, right? You have to spend time to be able to prepare something. I'm not working at home enough, well enough. I'm violating the rights of my family, my husband, my children. Haqqun nas is not just money, right? It's all these things. It will prevent you. It will prevent you from achieving your goals. Someone who's lazy, they don't get to their goals. Prevent you from being successful. You're always behind your peers and friends. We were studying together. Now, mashallah, what he has, and I missed it. One day you bring regret. Losing your friends, All right. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So help me with this part. What do you think what causes laziness? Where does it come from? We have to know where it's coming from so we can block it, right? Where does it come from? You want more money? What can I say? No. A mu'min is not lazy. Amir al-Mu'mineen in the garden is digging the ground, making the wells, the water for others. He's making it and giving it to others. He's never sitting in the house. Either he's taking care of the garments, or he's the judge, or he's the imam, or he's guiding people. Right? Rasulullah himself. Always working, always helping, always around. Mu'min never becomes lazy. Remember that. Second, very familiar, right? Some destructive tool. Laziness means idleness. I'm not doing anything. purposeless. Some devices that I mentioned, if I don't have enough time how to use it, believe me, 100% it brings laziness. I have people, some youth, they are officially coming to me, my office, officially addicted to electronic devices. Official, like drug, opium. They don't eat, but they play. Lack of motivation. When I lose that motivation, I just wanted to work here. I just wanted to, I don't know, like have this major, but I'm not motivated. That's not a major that I wanted, right? That's not the thing that I wanted in my life. I lose my motivation sometimes, right? Lack of goals in life. If I have time later. They're actually following something that's not it. Goal should be crystal clear things in my mind that I know that I'm going towards that, right? Lack of a strategy and plan. I might have a goal, but not having a strategy. Confusion. I don't know what I want. I'm confused what I'm following. Some irrational fear. You know what? I just know I can't. I better don't do it. I better don't start it. Start this business. No, we're not going to be successful. Fixed mindset. I'm afraid I will fail. It is not possible. I'm not good enough for that. I'm too tired, lethargic. I don't have energy. Remember, words carry meanings. When you tell yourself you're not able, you won't be able to do that. You always say, I am able to do this, right? Or sometimes empathy, I just don't care about anything, let's do this, let's help that person. I don't care, that's not my fault, that's not my problem. Regret, I'm too old to get it started. Some people said that it's beyond my age, I'm not, And some people, they actually identify themselves as lazy. I'm just a lazy person, so what? So what? Get out of it. Or shame. I already talked about it. I know we're having a lot of information, but I have to finish this, How to change laziness in daily life. Remember we talked about worship, spirituality, and that's about our daily life. Oh, that's a new effect. That's good. Ask Allah to help. We have some recommendations that are coming, inshallah. Many of them, about it. Strengthening your iman, we mentioned that. Having goals in life, we mentioned that. Having strategies to reach your goals, remember we talked about it. Try to find your favorite job. Even if you're working at a job that you don't like it, keep that door open to go find something that you like. Don't say, I've seen some people, they're working at a job that they don't like it, 30 years. Okay, have that secure, but if you find something else, go for it, look for it, right? That will bring motivation. Look for better opportunity, exercise. Avoid lazy people. Reward yourself with motivation. Decrease the sleep time. Just stay with the minimum that you need, right? And choose the right partner to finish your project and your tasks. Recite the recommendation dua. These are the du'as that we have, some of the du'as we have from Ahlul Bayt. For example, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam says, وَمْنُنْ عَلَيْنَا بِالنَّشَاطِ وَعِذْنَا مِنَ الْفَشَلِ وَالْكَسَلِ وَالْعَجْزِ وَالْعِلَلِ وَالضَّرَرِ وَالدَّجَرِ وَالْمَلَلِ. Ya Allah, we ask you for, give us the what? The nashat, the joy, happiness in life. Keep us away from laziness, idleness, weakness that we harm ourselves with. It's the dua that Rasulullah is saying. Dua makarim al-akhlaq, Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wassalam. We can recite it together. وَلَا تَبْتَلِيَنِّي بِالْكَسَلِ عَنْ إِبَادَتِكَ وَلَا بِالْعَمَى عَنْ سَبِيلِكَ وَلَا بِالتَّعَرُّضِ لِخِلَافِ مَحَبَّتِكَ. Try me not with laziness in worship of you, belongingness towards your path, and undertaking what oppose love for you. You see that? In Islam, logic, points that we mentioned, logical points, worship, dua, supplication, Imam Rida alayhi salatu was salam, in a dua, Imam Rida, in his dua for who? Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu was salam. ولا تبتلنا في أمره بالسأمة والكسل والفترة والفشل واجعلنا ممن تنتصر به لدينك. Ya Allah, don't make us lazy and weak in the task and affairs of Imam of us. He needs us. And let us be among those who support your religion, support deen, support Islam. So this is the last slide, inshallah, will follow. How to interact with lazy people. Inshallah, we'll finish with this. If you have some lazy people, your spouse, your children, some other people, your siblings, how to deal with them. Some people start blaming them. The majority of people, condemn them. Why are you lazy? You're so and so. Criticize them. How many of you guys do this? You do this. Most of you do this, right? Why are you lazy? Stop being lazy. Don't do that. Did it work? Okay. Don't criticize. Don't attack. Don't condemn them. That doesn't work. That actually pushes them towards laziness. When you tell them, why are you lazy? Why? If you tell your child, I don't know, 2 times a day, 5 times a day, 5 times a week, you're actually helping them to believe they're lazy. I'm actually lazy, that's why everybody's telling me I'm lazy, right? Stop doing this. Try to help them understand their situation. Rather than saying you're lazy, he says, recently, it looks like you didn't finish your task, your job, whatever you're supposed to do. Is there any reason that you didn't do that? Are you falling behind? Are you tired? Do you need a break? I'm showing that I'm understanding you, right? Help them realize where they lost their motivation. Is this a good major that you follow? Maybe you don't like the major. Are you working too much? Maybe 40 hours a week is too much. Do you want to take a break? Let's go to a trip together. Right? Let's go out the weekend, pretty sure. Rather than, well, you're so lazy. I told you to put the trash out all the time. And he didn't do that, right? On time. And he took a shortcut. Help them set up their goals again. Help them. Show them that you understand them and you're there to help them. If you cannot, go to professionals, right? Sometimes we need professionals to be able to motivate us. Help them find the best way to reach their goals. Help them to find the best motivations in life. And